Hey everyone, welcome back to Amber and Tyler's Dialogue. If you're just joining us, well, you're in for a fascinating ride today. We're going to be diving into something that's honestly reshaping not just India, but the whole world's tech landscape. Tyler, what's got you buzzing about this episode?
Well, Amber, we've talked about India's tech scene before, but this time it's different. There's this real sense of momentum, right? Like India's not just catching up with the rest of the world in AI and robotics, it's racing to the front of the pack. And honestly, I can't help but feel a little bit of awe every time I see the numbers, the startups, the sheer ambition.
Totally. I mean, think about it. India's always been this powerhouse for IT outsourcing, but now it's like the country's flexing a whole new muscle. AI, robotics, automation, these aren't just buzzwords anymore. They're changing industries, creating jobs, and honestly, giving the world a glimpse of what's possible when talent meets opportunity.
Right? And it's not just happening in the big cities or the tech hubs. We're seeing innovation pop up all over, small towns, rural areas, everywhere. That's the thing that really gets me. India's not just building tech for tech's sake, it's solving real problems for real people.
Absolutely. And listen, if you're as excited about this as we are, make sure to hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or even support us on Patreon. All the links are waiting for you in the description. We're building a community here, and we'd love for you to be a part of it.
So, Amber, let's set the stage a bit more. What do you think is the biggest surprise for people who haven't been following India's AI and robotics boom?
Oh, that's a great question. Honestly, I think it's the speed. Like one day you hear about a new robotics lab in Bangalore, the next day there's an AI startup in Hyderabad making headlines. It's happening so fast that if you blink, you might miss something huge.
Exactly. And it's not just the private sector. Government initiatives, policy changes, and even grassroots movements are all pushing in the same direction. It feels like India's got this unstoppable energy right now.
So with that in mind, let's dive into the backdrop. How did we get here, and what's fueling this incredible transformation? But before we do, remember, if you're enjoying the conversation, share it with a friend or drop us a comment. We're all about building this community together. All right, so Tyler, let's really get into it. I mean, when we talk about India's journey into AI and robotics, it's easy to just jump straight to the headlines. But, the story's a lot richer if we look at how India got to this point. So where do you think we should start?
Well, Amber, honestly, I think we've got to go back a bit, because India's tech story isn't just about the last few years. Remember, for decades, India was known as the world's back office, right? Call centers, software services, IT support, those were the big industries. But now it's like, India's not just supporting the world's technology, it's inventing it.
Exactly. And that shift didn't happen overnight. I mean, think about the 90s and early 2000s. India was building this incredible foundation of tech talent. Engineering schools were churning out graduates, and companies from all over the world were setting up shop. But now, it's like that foundation is finally getting the attention it deserves.
Absolutely. And, it's not just about the private sector. The government's played a huge role too. I mean, initiatives like Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat, those aren't just slogans, they're actually changing the game. The idea is to make India a global manufacturing and innovation hub. And when you look at the investments in AI and robotics, it's clear that it's working.
Right, and let's not forget, India's not just importing technology, it's creating its own. Robotics labs are popping up in universities, AI startups are getting serious funding, and there's this whole ecosystem of innovation that's just booming. I mean, the numbers are impressive, but it's the stories behind them that really grab me.
Yeah, and honestly, that's what makes India unique. It's not just about one big city or a handful of companies. Innovation is happening everywhere. Small towns, rural areas, you name it. And that's what gives India the potential to be a real global leader in cutting-edge tech.
So, Tyler, if you had to pick one thing that's fueling this transformation, what would it be?
Well, Amber, if I had to pick just one, I'd say it's the people. The talent, the ambition, the drive, that's what's really pushing India ahead. But, we'll get into all that in the deep dive.
Absolutely. And hey, if you're enjoying this conversation, don't forget to share it with a friend or subscribe to the podcast. All the links are in the description, and we'd love to have you as part of our community.
So Amber, let's dig a little deeper. You mentioned government initiatives. Can you tell us more about what's actually happening on the policy side? I mean, what's making all of this growth possible?
Great question, Tyler. Well, first off, there's the National Strategy for Artificial Intelligence. It's this big, ambitious plan that aims to position India as a leader in AI, not just for its own sake, but to solve real-world problems like healthcare, agriculture, and education. And it's not just about throwing money at the problem. It's about building partnerships between universities, industry, and the government.
That's huge. And I think a lot of people don't realize how much of a difference that kind of coordination can make. It's not just about funding, it's about creating an environment where innovation can thrive.
Exactly. And then there's Make in India, which is all about encouraging local manufacturing and innovation. We're seeing more and more robotics companies setting up shop in India, not just to sell products, but to actually design and build them here. That's a big deal, because it means India's not just a consumer of technology, it's a creator.
And Amber, what's really interesting is how these policies are trickling down to the grassroots level. I mean, we're seeing robotics clubs in schools, hackathons in colleges, and even small towns getting in on the action. It's not just the big cities anymore.
Totally. And that's what's so exciting about India's approach. It's not just about building a few tech hubs. It's about building a whole country of innovators. And honestly, that's what gives India the edge. When you have millions of young people learning about AI and robotics, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, and let's not forget about the global impact. India's not just building tech for itself, it's building solutions that can work anywhere in the world. From AI-powered healthcare apps to robotics for agriculture, Indian companies are starting to make their mark on the global stage.
Absolutely. And Tyler, I think that's something we should all be paying attention to. India's not just the next big market for tech, it's the next big source of innovation.
Couldn't agree more. And hey, if you're listening and this is getting you excited about India's tech future, make sure to hit that share button or drop us a comment. All the links are in the description, and we'd love to hear your thoughts.
So with that, let's get ready to dive even deeper into what's driving India's AI and robotics boom. Because honestly, the best is yet to come. Okay, Tyler, we've set the stage. Now it's time to really dig into what's driving India's AI and robotics boom. I mean, there's a lot going on here. Where do you want to start?
Honestly, Amber, I think we have to start with the people. The talent pool in India is just massive. Every year, thousands of young engineers and computer scientists graduate from universities all over the country. And these aren't just people with degrees. They're creative, ambitious, and hungry to solve real problems.
Absolutely. And it's not just about quantity, right? The quality is there too. India's tech education system has really stepped up, with more and more universities offering specialized courses in AI, robotics, and data science. I mean, some of these programs are world-class.
Right, and that leads to something else, innovation. When you have so many bright minds working on similar challenges, you get this kind of creative energy. Startups are popping up everywhere, and they're not just copying what's already out there. They're building solutions that are tailor-made for India's unique needs.
Exactly. And let's talk about some of those needs. India is like this giant, incredibly diverse country. You've got everything from massive cities to rural villages, and each place has its own challenges. So the solutions have to be flexible, affordable, and scalable.
That's the beauty of it, Amber. Indian startups are really good at building for local conditions, but their tech often has global potential. Take, for example, warehouse automation. There are companies out there building AI-powered robots that can pick, sort, and pack goods faster and more accurately than ever before. And it's not just about speed, it's about making supply chains more efficient and reliable.
Yeah, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. There are startups working on industrial automation, service robots for hospitality and healthcare, even agricultural robots that can help farmers spray crops more precisely. The variety is just wow.
And Amber, what's really impressive is how these companies are using AI. It's not just about programming robots to do one thing, it's about giving them the ability to learn, adapt, and make decisions on their own. That's a game changer.
Totally. And let's not forget about the government's role. There are all these initiatives to support innovation. Grants, incubators, partnerships between universities and industry. It's like the whole country is pulling in the same direction.
Yeah, and that's creating this amazing ecosystem. You've got big companies, startups, universities, and government agencies all working together. It's not just about building robots, it's about building a whole new tech economy.
And Tyler, I think that's what makes India stand out. It's not just one or two companies leading the charge. It's this whole network of innovators, each bringing something unique to the table.
Absolutely. And let's talk about some of the challenges because, it's not all smooth sailing. There's still a lot of work to be done when it comes to funding, infrastructure, and talent development.
Right, access to capital is a big one. While some startups are getting serious funding, others are still struggling to get off the ground. And building hardware like robots is expensive. It's not like software where you can just code and deploy. You need labs, equipment, and skilled engineers.
And Amber, let's not forget about the supply chain. India is still building up its manufacturing base for robotics components. A lot of parts have to be imported, which can slow things down and drive up costs.
Exactly. But that's also an opportunity. There's this huge push to make India more self-reliant, and that's driving investment in local manufacturing. So I think we're going to see a lot of progress on that front in the next few years.
Yeah, and Amber, I think that's what's so exciting about this moment. India is not just catching up with the rest of the world, it's carving out its own path.
Totally. And let's talk about some of the trends we're seeing. One thing that really stands out is the rise of collaborative robots, cobots, that can work safely alongside humans.
Right, that's huge. It's not about replacing people. It's about making their jobs easier and safer. And that's especially important in industries like manufacturing and healthcare, where precision and safety are top priorities.
And there's also the trend of edge AI, where you run AI models directly on the robot instead of relying on the cloud. That means robots can make decisions in real time, even in environments with limited connectivity.
That's a game changer for places like rural India, where internet access can be spotty. And it's not just about technology, it's about impact. Robots are being used to clean sewers, inspect underwater infrastructure, even provide companionship for seniors.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes this boom so meaningful. It's not just about building cool gadgets, it's about improving people's lives.
Absolutely, Amber. And if you're listening and this is getting you excited, make sure to share this episode with a friend or drop us a comment. All the links are in the description, and we'd love to have you as part of our community.
So, Tyler, if you had to sum up what's driving India's AI and robotics boom, what would you say?
Well, Amber, I'd say it's a combination of talent, innovation, and ambition, with a big dose of collaboration. India's not just building robots, it's building the future.
Couldn't agree more. And if you're enjoying this conversation, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. All the links are in the description, and we'd love to have you along for the ride.
So Amber, what's next? Where do you see India's AI and robotics journey going from here?
Well, Tyler, I think the sky's the limit. With all this momentum, India is poised to become a global leader in cutting-edge tech. And the best part is, we're just getting started.
Absolutely. And if you're as excited as we are, make sure to share your thoughts in the comments or on social media. All the links are in the description, and we'd love to hear from you.
So stay tuned for the next section, where we'll dive into the insights and what all this means for India and the world. All right, Tyler, we've talked about the backdrop and taken a deep dive into what's driving India's AI and robotics boom. Now, let's get into the big picture. What does all this mean? Not just for India, but for the world. What makes India's approach so unique?
Well, Amber, honestly, I think the first thing that stands out is just how diverse India's tech landscape is. It's not just about one city or one type of company. Innovation is happening everywhere, from Bangalore to small towns, from big corporations to scrappy startups. And that diversity is a huge advantage.
Absolutely. I mean, when you have so many different perspectives and experiences coming together, you get solutions that are creative, adaptable, and really relevant to a wide range of people. That's something you just don't see everywhere.
Right. And let's talk about scale. India is home to over 1 billion people. And that means the tech solutions developed here have to work for huge numbers of users. That's a challenge, but it's also a massive opportunity. If you can build something that works in India, chances are it'll work anywhere in the world.
Exactly. And that's why global companies are paying so much attention to what's happening in India. They see it as a test bed for innovation, a place where new ideas can be tried out, refined, and then scaled up for the rest of the world.
Yeah, Amber. And let's not forget about the social impact. AI and robotics aren't just about making money or building cool gadgets. They're about solving real problems, like improving healthcare, making agriculture more efficient, and creating new opportunities for education and employment.
Totally. I mean, think about AI-powered diagnostics in rural clinics or robots that can help farmers monitor their crops. These aren't just tech demos. They're making a real difference in people's lives.
And you know, Amber, that's what makes India's tech story so inspiring. It's not just about keeping up with the latest trends. It's about using technology to build a better future for everyone.
Right. And let's talk about the global implications. India's not just a consumer of technology anymore. It's becoming a leader, setting standards and shaping the direction of the industry.
Absolutely. We're seeing Indian startups and researchers contributing to global conversations about ethics, safety, and the responsible use of AI and robotics. That's a BIGDI because it means India is helping to shape the rules of the game.
Yeah, and I think that's something we should all be paying attention to. The decisions being made in India today could have a huge impact on how technology is used around the world tomorrow.
So Amber, what do you think is the most exciting trend to watch in India's AI and robotics space?
Oh, that's a tough one, Tyler. There's so much happening. But if I had to pick, I'd say it's the rise of collaborative innovation, where startups, big companies, universities, and the government all work together to solve big challenges. That kind of teamwork is rare, and it's what's really driving progress.
Yeah, and you know, Amber, I think that's what sets India apart. It's not just about competition, it's about collaboration. Everyone's pushing in the same direction, and that's creating this amazing momentum.
Totally, and let's talk about the economic impact. The growth of AI and robotics is creating new jobs, upskilling workers, and opening up opportunities for people who might not have had a chance before. That's a big deal in a country as large and diverse as India.
Right, and you know, Amber, it's not just about tech jobs. It's about creating a whole new ecosystem. Designers, engineers, marketers, educators, all working together to build the future.
Absolutely. And if you're listening and this is getting you excited, make sure to share this episode with a friend or drop us a comment. All the links are in the description, and we'd love to have you as part of our community.
So Amber, what's the bottom line? What does all this mean for India and the world?
Well, Tyler, I think the bottom line is that India is on the verge of becoming a global leader in AI and robotics. The country's unique blend of talent, diversity, and ambition is creating a new model for innovation, one that's inclusive, adaptable, and focused on real-world impact.
Couldn't agree more. And you know, Amber, I think that's something we should all be celebrating. The world needs more leaders like India, countries that aren't afraid to take risks, try new things, and build a better future for everyone.
Absolutely. And if you're enjoying this conversation, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. All the links are in the description, and we'd love to have you along for the ride.
So Amber, what's next? Where do you see India's AI and robotics journey going from here?
Well, Tyler, I think the future is wide open. With all this momentum, India is poised to shape the global tech landscape in ways we can't even imagine yet. And, you know, the best part is we get to watch it happen.
Absolutely. And if you're as excited as we are, make sure to share your thoughts in the comments or on social media. All the links are in the description, and we'd love to hear from you.
Well, Tyler, we've covered a lot of ground today, from the roots of India's tech revolution to the exciting future of AI and robotics. I mean, honestly, it's hard not to be inspired by what's happening.
Absolutely, Amber. You know, when we started this episode, I was excited. But now, after hearing about all the talent, the innovation, and the collaboration, I'm genuinely blown away. India is not just following the global tech trends, it's setting them.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes this story so special. It's not just about technology for technology's sake. It's about people, real people, using AI and robotics to solve real problems, to create jobs, to make life better for millions.
Right. And you know, Amber, what really strikes me is the sense of possibility. India's got this unique combination of scale, diversity, and ambition. That's a recipe for something truly extraordinary.
Totally. And let's not forget about the global impact. The solutions being developed in India today could shape the way the world uses AI and robotics tomorrow. That's a pretty big deal.
It really is. And Amber, I think that's something worth celebrating. The world needs more stories like this. Stories of innovation, collaboration, and hope.
Absolutely. So Tyler, as we wrap up, what's your biggest takeaway from today's conversation?
Well, Amber, I'd say my biggest takeaway is that India is just getting started. the country's tech journey is far from over. In fact, I think the best is yet to come. And I can't wait to see what happens next.
Couldn't agree more. And if you're listening and you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or even support us on Patreon. All the links are in the description.
Yeah, and if you've got thoughts or questions, drop us a comment or share this episode with a friend. We're building a community here, and we'd love to have you as part of it.
Thanks so much for joining us today, everyone. This is Amber Ellsworth.
And Tyler Ashcroft, signing off from Amber and Tyler's Dialogue. Remember, all the links are in the description. We'll see you next time.